There is sometimes a big difference between law and morality. And we're going to talk about that for just a minute here on this particular episode. So stay tuned. From time to time, people will ask the question, is that really the law? And usually the answer is yes. A lot of times statutes get passed or cases get decided and they announce rules of law that we all have to live by. But whether or not people are held to account for not living by them is almost always up to a jury. And there is a way for a jury to effectively nullify a law. It's called jury nullification or juror nullification. And basically what it is where a group of 12 people get together and they decide, no, we're not going there. Now, I think a really good example of juror nullification was in the O.J. Simpson case. The O.J. Simpson case was very poorly tried, but I think that if the jury pool had not been composed the way it was, you might have seen a conviction there. But basically, the people on that jury panel were aware that Los Angeles police did not always play fair with people of color. And those of you who know me know that I have great respect for law enforcement. But the Los Angeles Police Department has had some pretty ugly events in its history. And I honestly think that a large portion of the acquittal of O.J. Simpson came about as part of juror nullification. Another example of juror nullification is found in the recent acquittal of Jaleel Stallings. Now, Jaleel Stallings was an African-American man in Minneapolis who, during the Minneapolis riots, fired on police officers. Now, no police officers were hit. The van that he fired on that contained the police officers was not a marked van, as I understand it. And the fact of the matter is, he was shooting because he felt like he was being shot at. Indeed, he had been hit by a pellet of some variety, a rubber bullet perhaps fired by riot police, and thinking, as he says, thinking that he was under attack, he fired back in self-defense. I think if this case had been tried anywhere but Minneapolis, particularly in the post-George Floyd environment there would probably have been a conviction for attempted murder and assault on a law enforcement officer. But, again, the jury pool there is not feeling particularly kindly toward police officers at the moment, and as a result, they acquitted Jaleel Stallings. Is it juror nullification or simply a belief that he made his case with regard to self-defense? I don't know. What I do know is that if you take a gun to a riot, you are more likely than not to have to use it, which is one good reason to stay away from riots, period. Juror nullification is a problem. Lawyers cannot argue for juror nullification. When we get ready to make a closing argument in a criminal case, we can't tell the jury, you can just ignore the law and acquit this man. Instead, we can give them ample reasons to acquit, maybe based on identification or other factors, but we absolutely cannot argue jury nullification because what we're saying in that situation is ignore the law. And as officers of the court, we can't argue for juror nullification. So, as a result, juror nullification is not something that your lawyer can help you with, but usually the climate in the community can. I will leave it there. That's my take on juror nullification. If you found this interesting or thought-provoking, I would really appreciate if you hit that like button. And if you haven't already, go over here and click on the subscribe icon and subscribe to our channel so you can be notified whenever we release a video here on this channel. Thank you so much for watching and for participating today. I'll catch you out here next time. Bye.